This is my top 7 sales tips to dominate your competition. So did you know that just 21% of salespeople today achieve a win rate in their deals? And why is this? Well, it's because most are missing key strategies that separate top performers from the rest. And welcome to my video, which is Sales Pitch Mastery, where we are really going to be deep diving into crafting offers that capture attention, that will create loyal customers. So why is this required? Well, in today's market, sales professionals and business founders and entrepreneurs face intense competition. They face evolving consumer behaviors, longer sales cycles, and these types of hurdles can be crucial to the need to refine your sales strategy continually. And so to craft an irresistible offer, what is required is one clear value proposition. Articulate the value and benefits that your service and product provides. Then you need to deep dive into your customers' pain points, their ideal buyer pain points, needs, and also to understand what specifically is going to create traction with your ideal buyer. Next, what is required creates urgency, and then incorporates some elements that will encourage prompt action. Number 3 is to make sure that your offer, an aspect of your offer, is unique or differentiated, that you highlight what sets your offer apart from the competition. So an example of this would be if I was a digital marketing agency, to use this framework to reposition my service, I might see a significant increase in conversions if I effectively applied the 3 U's. So really, here's what's important, that we are creating that pitch which is going to resonate deeply with our ideal buyer and client, and that is done in a way that feels personalized, that feels specific, that feels, again, relatable to our ideal buyer. Our ideal buyer is going to have a gap in terms of where they're at and the result they want. We need to be positioning and clear on we can provide the specific result that our ideal buyer wants. We need to help them and position our offering as the solution to bridge that gap, and be clear about why this solution can effectively bridge that gap and help our buyer to bridge that specific gap of where they're at to where they want to be. We do need to focus in our pitch on the results, on the benefits, on the tangible, how long will it take for our buyer to see those results and benefits? What's the timeline? We need to be realistic about this. We need to be realistic about anything as well in our sales pitch that will be required. What essentially might our buyer need to do, to prepare, to input to, in order to be effective in this? We need to communicate that as well as part of our sales pitch, because importantly, our buyer is needing to, essentially collaborate, work with us as part of this, achieving this solution. So the other thing as well is to be very, very clear about whether our offer, is it done for you? Is it done with our ideal buyer? Is it a hybrid type approach, or is it a self-learning, that we're expecting our buyer to do the work, and we're going to give the consultation or the strategy or the framework, and then our buyer's going to take the step. So again, we need to be crystal clear what's required for our buyer to be successful in working with us. What stands out? What do we need them to know about, so that there are no surprises following our pitch conversation? We need to be clear. Let's make sure that we address also objections. So again, preempt some specific objections. Make sure that you call out that objection and address it as part of your pitch before your buyer has to raise a hand or has to say that they have an objection. The earlier and the better that you do this, it will reassure and address some of those concerns. Let's remember that as part of a sales conversation, your buyer will, as standard, have a number of objections, which they would have in any purchase decision. So it's also important, as a final kind of recommendation, to understand how our buyer buys, like what is their specific process, what do they need from us in terms of taking that decision? Many people will not ask this. They will simply essentially move through steps in a process. But I can tell you that if you check in with your buyer and you ask them, how do they like to buy? What's important to them in a review, in a in a purchase process? That makes it more essentially as though you're looking to incorporate and speak to their specific needs, and that's important. Ultimately, we're looking to demonstrate that we really, are concerned, that we want our buyer to have a great experience. And of course, the experience of a customer in buying should be a great experience, should be fun, enjoyable, and with lots of excitement, ideally. So again, we need to think about what are the real positive driving emotions that we are looking for our buyer to feel as part of that buying process with us. Because again, buying is a process which your buyer doesn't do all the time. So let's make it enjoyable. Let's make it relevant. Let's make it really, an experience to remember. And that will, of course, help with referrals, with further business with you. But most importantly, it will help our buyer to feel great about their purchase decision, which is always important. So with these tips in mind, I encourage you to go out there and start to develop your pitch. What is important, I've covered in this video. With the specific 7 steps I've covered, you will be able to again, address and really create the best sales pitch. And check the notes below this video. I've put a resource for you as well around which you can, again, make use of. It's entirely free for you to download. So make sure you check out the notes section below this video. And if you enjoy this video, make sure that you tap subscribe and look out for more sales strategy videos from me. Love to hear your comments as well. Anything you'd like to see or have done differently, any particular topics on sales that you might like me to cover. So with that, make sure you click subscribe, and I'll see you on another video soon.